everybody, and welcome. This is going to be intuitive tarot messages for the month of September for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. So let us look into this. And I love Capricorn. Let us look into this. What do we need to know? We have Nine of Swords in reverse. The Temperance in reverse. This feels like a little bit being like in this void space, but void not in a negative way. Almost like being beyond polarity, okay? Being simply present. This feels like, you know, you could say a sense of very deep state of meditation. We also have the Death card here. So kind of being taken out of this, you could say, predominant consciousness field on the planet, if you will. It's a little bit of an abstract vision, but being in this void space, the zero space, the 0 point space, where all the potentials exist, where there is no duality, where there is no change, where there is this simple presence. Almost like, you know, the observer part of your consciousness that does not place judgment, it does not resist, it does not change, it simply witnesses. This is what it feels like. At the same time, it feels like you are retaining your personality and the preferences that come with it. But there is this just different quality to your perception. This can signify monadic integration. So in the process of ascension, we go through stages of integrating our multidimensional aspects, if you will, into this identity. The first part is integrating the soul, the feeling kind of, the intuitive kind of state of consciousness, and then the monadic integration is the integration of this observer aspect. This is what it feels like. So during the soul integration part, for example, there is a lot of intuitive insight. You can have images, you can have very, your senses intensify. And then during the monadic integration, there's more of this simple present awareness. It's quiet. There's not much of this excessive movement. There's almost like everything is laid out under the light, and you can see it so clearly. This is what I feel here. Almost feels like being behind a veil, looking at life, but at the same time having almost like having this distance between yourself and it. We have Six of Cups upright, King of Swords in reverse, King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Cups upright, Three of Cups upright. So also what it feels like is that there's almost like there is your day-to-day life experience with the hustle and bustle and your obligations and your routines and all of this kind of things, and your typical kind of thinking process, but also there is this deeper layer of experience. Again, it feels like this monadic integration, the integration and the experience of the observer. It feels like there are two of these experiences. They are being experienced by you at the same time, almost like these layers. Okay, the surface layer, where there's a lot of movement, where there is this usual typical experience, and then there is this deeper layer. Again, this can speak of the practice of meditation. This can speak of you just practicing detachment, but really it feels like this process of the monadic integration. We have the moon, we have the high priestess, we have 10 of cups. Also what it feels like is that in this space, there is more room for choice. When you are in this usual kind of state of perception that most people experience, there is more of this reactivity. Something happens and almost like the reaction is so instantaneous that there is not enough room for choice. Let's say somebody says something and there is anger. In this state, there is something happens and you can see it so clearly through this observer perception. And it feels like there's a lot of room around it, so you can make a decision. You don't necessarily, like, you don't feel triggered into a reaction. You don't feel triggered into an action. Okay? The ego, for example, the structure of ego is not as dense. It doesn't require as much of protection or whatever, you know? So for example, somebody in this regular state of consciousness, somebody says something negative to you, and then there is this reaction. In this observer state, you witness what is being said, and there is still stillness. There is stillness and very clear awareness, and there is choice. Do I want to react? Do I even want to feel anything about this? Do I want to feed my attention? Do I even want to notice this? Do I want to give it another second of my time or not? Or do I just skip it? There is more room, there's more freedom, there is more balance, there is more stability, there is more sovereignty, okay? Dear Capricorn, I don't know what this message is speaking about. Maybe this is an advice for you. Maybe this is something that you are developing. Maybe this is an advice for you that this is something that you will benefit from developing. But this is what I have for you for the month of September. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll talk to you soon again.